Alright, so there are the vocabulary words, and then we're going to continue with the example and the finding the slope. So they tell us, and do you think it matters if we put which number we put on top and which number we put on bottom? Yes, it does. So we always put the number that represents y on the top and the number that represents x on the bottom. Y is the vertical change, x is the horizontal change. Okay, so we call it the slope equals the rise over the run. So the vertical change here is 15 inches, right? And the horizontal change is 12 inches. Now we can leave that as an improper fraction, but what do you think we need to do first before we do that? Yes, we can simplify it. So 15 over 12 simplifies to what? 5 over 4. So that, and we would leave it like that. We wouldn't change it to a mixed number. We would say that the slope is 5 over 4. So what that means is every time I rise 5 points, I would go over 4. And that kind of determines how steep something is. And the same would be true for stairs or a roller coaster or the slant on a roof. You guys ever notice that sometimes the slant on a roof is, sometimes it's really steep and sometimes it's not? Have you guys ever noticed that? Okay. So some houses have a really steep roof, or parts of it are, and some aren't. So that's all about the slope. So there is a formula, and it's a very important one. And I actually have it written on the board here, and it's one that you will have to end up memorizing. And it's the formula to find slope. So in order to find the slope of a line, how steep it is, or how flat it is, you have to know 2 points on the line. You just have to know 2 points. Okay, and we have to label those points, and they tell us right here in this box what we label them. The first x, the first y, the second x, the second y. Okay, and you just have to be consistent with that. So and they show you how they've labeled them here on the points. But the formula is this. You take the second y, and you subtract it from the first one. So we say y2 minus y1. And then we put that over the top of the second x minus the first x. And what that tells me is, here's the difference vertically between 2 points, and here is the distance horizontally between those 2 points. When I plug in the numbers here and I solve, I get the slope. Okay, so we'll see what that looks like in an actual problem on the next page. Okay, so if you turn the page to example 2, you'll see there's an A and a B. Now the first thing to do in order to, before we even start thinking about slope, is to label the 2 points. Do you guys see the 2 dots on the line? Yes. Okay, so we need to label them. So I'm going to label this one first. What ordered pair does this represent right here? This represents 2, 1. Now, what happens Which number represents y1? 1. Which number represents x2? 5. Which number did I label as x1? 2. So now all I have to do is subtract. What's 8 minus 1?
7.
And then what's 5 minus 2? 3. Do I have to do anything with that line? Do I have to do anything with that number? Can I leave it? Do I have to simplify it? Can it be simplified? Do I have to make it a mixed number? Nope. So we would just say the slope is 7 over 3. A shortcut to doing that is count how many times you rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many times did you run? 1, 2, 3. So you can always check it doing that. Okay. Now, okay, this one. I'm going to label my points reading from left to right. So if I'm reading from left to right, I come to this one first. So I need to tell what is that ordered pair right there. What is this point right here? What's the ordered pair? 2. Nope. 1, 7. So this is 1 over 7 up. And what's this point right here? 6, comma 1. 6 over 1 up. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to label. This is going to be my first x. This is going to be my first y. This is going to be my second x. This is going to be my second y. Then I'm going to write the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so now I'm going to fill it in. Which number represents y2? 1. Which number represents y1? 7. Which number represents x2? Which number represents x1? Okay, be careful here. What's 1 minus 7? Negative 6. And then what's 6 minus 1? 5. So we would say my slope is negative 6 over 5. Can I have a negative slope? Yeah, look at which way that line is slanting. It's slanting which direction? Down. If you were to fly a plane into this and hit it, it's slanting down. Now what about this one? If you were to fly a plane into it and hit it, you would go up. So see the difference? One of them slanting up and one of them slanting down. If the line is slanting up, your slope is positive. If it's slanting down, your slope is negative. Now, could I do the same thing and count here? Yeah, but instead of going up, instead of rising, what am I doing? I'm falling. So that tells me that this is a negative line. So how many times did you fall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then how many times did you run? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that correspond to the slope we found? Yes.
That trick one more
On counting. So I start at the first point that I come to. And in order Think of that as a ski slope. Could that be a ski slope?
No way.
No, that's just a jump off of a cliff. Okay? You can't ski that. You would fall. Okay, so that slope right there, when you have a line that's just straight up and down, which if you were to write an equation to this line, it would be x equals 4. Is that a function? If it does not have y, is it a function?
No.
No. This is a straight up and down line. It's not a function, and the slope is undefined. Okay, as opposed to this. Okay, what's different about this line?
It's just horizontal.
It's just horizontal. It's flat. Are there such things as flat lines?
Yes.
Yes. Can you have a ski slope that's flat? Yeah, it's called a bunny slope, right? Okay. Sidewalks, they need to be flat. Roads, for the most part, need to be flat. Airplanes, runways, for the most part, need to be flat, right? So can I label these 2 points? Yes. This point would be 3, 2, and this point would be 8, 2. Okay, our formula is still y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'll go back and label. Here's x1, y1, x2, y2. So I would say this is 2 minus 2 over 8 minus 3. What's 2 minus 2? What's 8 minus 3? Is there a difference between 7 divided by 0 and 0 divided by 5? Yes. You cannot divide a number by 0, but can you divide 0 by a number? Yes. 0 divided by anything is 0. The slope is 0. Does that make sense? That that line doesn't slant, therefore the slope is 0? Yes. Could I write an equation to this line? Yeah. This would be y equals 2, because it's just a horizontal line that passes through the point y equals 2. Is it still a function? Yes. As long as it has a y, it's still a function. If it doesn't, then it's not. Okay, so here's our little summary of slope. This is something you very, very, very much need to memorize. This is an important box. Okay? So, look at that line right there. Do you think this is a positive, a negative, an undefined, or a 0 slope? Positive. So that would represent your staircase or something like that, right? So a line with a positive slope, it rises from left to right, just like your airplane flying into it, it goes up. What about this slope? This one. Negative. Again, if you were to fly in and hit it, you'd be going down. Okay? So a line with a negative slope falls from left to right. Now, what do you think this slope would be called? 0. A line with a 0 slope is horizontal. Now, what about this one? This is their attempt to show someone to follow. Yes. This is undefined. We're talking ski slope here. We're in a free fall. This is more like skydiving. Okay? So if you look at practice A, that's what I gave you. Okay? And you'll notice most of the problems on there are very similar to the ones that we just worked. So I want you guys to do for homework 1 through 18. I want you to do 1 through 18. You can do the first 6 really quickly right now. Maybe even the first 9 really quickly right now. Okay, and this will be due